Nice to be back here at Hughes and see you all. So at risk of sounding a bit like a reality TV contestant, I've been asked to share my journey into setting up a social enterprise. It might actually run a little bit over 6 minutes. I don't know if that's all right or not.
That's fine. I'm sure our audience can do what you have to say.
About 8.
Okay.
It'd be 9. Great. So I started out as a copywriter, sorry, with graphic design and training agency in Sheffield, working with lots of big, interesting brands, and it was all great fun. But I was becoming increasingly annoyed really and sickened by how many people didn't have a voice in mainstream media. And in particular how certain sectors of society were completely demonised. Here's some of my favourite Daily Mail headlines. Nothing against Daily Mail, just at the same time I was becoming really excited about new technologies and the simplicity of those technologies and how those could potentially be used to democratise music and news and knowledge and politics. And I wondered what would happen if you could combine this technology with creativity to give people a voice, or better still, help people find their own voice to expose the innate beauty of human beings. So that was kind of our vision, really, if you like. And when I'm talking about creativity, I don't really mean sort of pink and woolly basket weaving type of creativity, although there's any MTs in the audience, I've got no problem with basket weaving. But about how you can use creativity to challenge assumptions, build on ideas to make other ideas, look at things in new ways, take advantage of the unexpected, surround yourself with different, make unlikely connections, and above all, take risks. So this was kind of the values, if you like, for setting up my own social enterprise, and this is what we call our creative manifesto. So everyone who works or volunteers with us has to kind of sign up to that in blood. Anyway, around that sort of time, while I was still working for the agency, I had an idea for a little film, and I tried finding a couple of filmmakers, tried to twist their arms to make this film for me, and they were like, yeah, great, love to, what's your budget? I thought, I haven't got any money. So I thought, how hard can it be to make a film? So I got a little bit of funding from Unlimited, like you guys did. It's good to see they're still doing that. And I got a little camera and a MacBook, which took quite a lot of convincing, the MacBook bit. And I toddled off down to outside Waitrose to have a chat with the big issue vendor there and make my film. And then 3 hours later I've made a film. Amazing. Don't tell any filmmakers this because they'll absolutely hate me. Anyway, this was my first attempt.
I think at the moment it'd be Obama, Barack Obama. It's an important lesson life taught me. Is to respect people. Yeah. I'd changed the way my marriage ended. Yeah. Having custody of my daughter. That'd be the best thing. Celtic.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anyway, when I've done that, I just thought I need to do something with this, and this guy was a bit of was one of my third sector heroes at the time. In addition to Mark, actually, who's here tonight, who inspired me. I saw him a few years ago, or quite a few years ago, speaking. Anyway, does anyone know who this guy is? It's John Bird, who's the founder of The Big Issue. The Big Issue, yeah. And I thought I'd really like him to sort of see this film. So I sort of googled him and found out when he was coming up north, and he was doing oh, nice one, thank you. It turned out he was doing a keynote speech at a competition in Leeds on the social enterprise competition, a school thing. So I thought I'll wrangle my way on to the judging panel, so I could just be in the same room as him, kind of thing. And then I kind of just like followed him sheepishly around all day, and I just didn't look up the courage to even speak to him. And I thought this was ridiculous. So I got to the end of the day and I just thought, no, it's now or never. So I offered him a lift to the train station. So he got in the car and I just kind of like locked all the doors and put my MacBook on his knee and just made him watch the film. Anyway, to cut a long story short, a week later I got a phone call off his PA inviting me down to London, and she said, oh, he can't get his film out, out of his head, kind of thing. So invited me down to this gentleman's club in Soho. It was all very exciting. And he introduces me to all his hangers-on as this is Justine, the filmmaker. And I was like, oh shit, no, I'm not at all. I felt like a real fraud. Anyway, he bought it off me for 600 quid, and I went back and handed in my resignation. And anyway, so my first top tip is just basically put yourself out there and don't underestimate the power of stalking. So with that 600 quid, handed in my resignation and made the leap into the third sector. I made that sound quite easy. It actually feels a little bit more like that. I don't know if you guys feel something. Actually, it's more like that. But anyway, onwards and upwards. So I spent the first year just kind of in my bedroom, just working like that. I don't know if you guys all felt the same way. Which is why sort of my second top tip really is to sort of surround yourself with others who are kind of doing something similar, which is why I think setting up events like this is really brilliant. Similarly, the Sheffield Social Enterprise Network that John and Morgan are doing is brilliant. And I actually joined the School for Social Entrepreneurs, which I would recommend you applying to if you've got an idea as well. That was their first year in the Yorkshire School, and that was really good. So it's just being surrounded by other people sort of doing a similar thing. So this is our business model. You could probably read it better like this. So basically we work on 3 levels. We run creative programmes with anyone without a voice in mainstream society, which could be young people who are homeless, older people, people with disabilities, mental health issues. Usually mix all of those and others in the same room at the same time, which is really interesting because everyone's kind of got something to give and something to gain and something to learn from each other. So we run programmes like community journalism programmes, which hopefully I've got a bit of time just to show you quickly. And we also run similar programmes for organisations as well, so sort of media boot camps and community journalism programmes for them. And then the second level is they can become creative volunteers, either for us, I'll show you an example of that in a sec, or we can sort of match them up with other third sector organisations to help give them a voice. And then the third level is around supporting people in setting up their own creative businesses and social enterprises as well. And then just to make a bit of money, are there anything creative on the side? Anything from co-design, consultancy, social enterprise consultancy, creative consultancy and research projects. To give you a little taste of the types of creative projects that we do.
It's boosted my confidence with everyone really, because now I can talk to all age categories. It's just been a really good opportunity to show my skills to somebody else and maybe learn a bit from them as well.
Enjoyed it, yes, yeah, I was nervous when I came, but put me to easily, she's lovely. Yeah.
Found it brilliant. I really, really like Paul. And if he was my age, he would be one of my best friends.
I don't normally mess about with computers.
So it's that type of project through, as I mentioned, the community journalism programme. And the bottom right there is Pfizer, who was actually living in a hostel in Sheffield around about when I first met her, and I suggested that she joined our community journalism programme. And the reason she's got back to us, she was very shy at that point, but I'm sure you what happened to her. Anyway, this is Pfizer.
Well, I started volunteering for Justine, the Silent City, because I met her at a homeless shelter. So I was homeless for a bit. Silent City's got a few people who are, interested in journalism, and taught them all these skills and how they could use them to give voices to people, basically.
So we taught people photography, film, audio, that type of stuff. Here's just a few pictures that Pfizer took. She's an amazing photographer. They also learned about film, but I don't think I've got a chance to show you. I can show you the intro to the film that Pfizer put together. She basically crowdsourced her mates on Instagram. The most ridiculous questions that she'd been asked about.
Are you forced to wear that thing on your head? Do you feel beautiful in that? Do you have hair? Is there a bomb under there? Is Voldemort under there?
Anyway, I'm not going to show you it all, but it was on the website, but it got hacked yesterday. So it's not on the website anymore. The second level is creative volunteering. So Pfizer's gone on to volunteer for a charity in London that we put her in touch with, and there she is passing on her photography skills to a group of school kids in Alphen Castle, which is brilliant. And then that's given her the confidence just to, she's just taken the world on now basically. So she spent the summer travelling across Africa, passing on her photography skills to various charities that we put her in touch with, and she's absolutely flying now. And then even more importantly than that, all our volunteers have been volunteering in Sheffield. So when Sheffield was putting together their big lottery bid, the Ageing Better bid to reduce isolation and loneliness in Sheffield, we were up against every single city in the UK pretty much. It was highly competitive. And all our volunteers put together loads of events with older people to capture their voices, tea parties, box coffee things, selfie booths, spoken word nights. Collected 52 hours of content and put it at the heart of Sheffield's bid, and as a result we were awarded the full 6 million. Well, I say we haven't got any of that money, but Sheffield has, so that's great. So that's going to benefit 12,000 of Sheffield's most isolated and lonely people, and I think it's just a perfect example really of how you can turn that 10 grand, which is what our community journalism programme costs, into 6 million to benefit people. And so that's it really. I just wanted to end on 3 quotes there. Apple believe, this is from Steve Jobs, who's one of my heroes. Apple believes that people with passion can change the world for the better, and those people that are crazy enough to think that they can are the ones that actually do. Hopefully there's some of you in the room today who fit that criteria. And most importantly of all, I think you're going to hear a lot of stuff about financial sustainability, and yes, it sounds like a good idea, but is it a business? I just say ignore all that, because when us guys were saying, Mark as well, it's kind of, just make a mark and see where it leads basically, because if that idea doesn't work, then the next idea will, and you'll have a lot of fun doing it in the process. So don't let people put you off. To leave you with Pfizer.
I'm a dreamer. I'm an artist. I like to think I'm an artist. And I want to change the world, and if I can't change the world, I want to change someone's world.
If you want to volunteer, I'm running a programme at the moment supporting the Opus Now Then Festival of Debate, which is in Sheffield, loads of great speakers, Owen Jones, loads of really interesting people. If you've got any interest in politics or event management or social media training, we're offering all training for any volunteers, so give us a shout. Like I say, don't look on our website because it'll be out.